welcome to another episode of the Pro Hockey Pod, episode 93. Like I said, we're trying to roll these off now, get back into the momentum here after the summer. This week we're changing up a little. Last week we had a little veteran on with Hayden Shaw there, someone who's obviously had a long playing career, and this time we got one of the young kids on. I thought it'd be good for all the listeners out there to kind of hear from a different perspective, someone that has grown up playing minor hockey in Germany recently, about a year ago, started his full pro hockey career, I would say. And we can kind of see the differences between North America, Germany, all that stuff. This kid's honestly a beauty. We'll get into one of his historic things he has, attributes he has later in the podcast. But starting it off, welcome to the Pro Hockey Pod, Colin Schlenker.
Hey Andrew, thank you to having me.
So, Colin, we always go back to the beginning. So you were born there in Schwenningen, little small city there. Obviously they have a team in our league. What is the first kind of memory you have of growing up in Schwenningen?
Like I would say it's hockey because I grew up with hockey. My dad was playing hockey. My whole family is watching hockey and watched hockey in the past. So like I grew up with hockey and that's the first thing I can remember.
Are you like I was just doing research on this before, and obviously I coached both of them, I believe, at one point, one more than the other. But are you related to like Vincent Schlenker and them?
No,
But they're
nobody.
they're from Schwenningen too.
I know there are a couple of Schlenkers in Schwenningen. Like I would say that's a pretty famous name there,
Okay.
but I'm not related to anybody there.
Actually, so for those listening, like this isn't like it's not like a Frankfurt or a Berlin, like a massive city. Like this is kind of a your average small town, and the fact that there's I think it's two or three Schlenkers who've all gone into hockey who grew up there is actually
Yeah.
pretty crazy. But so you mentioned getting into hockey there. Your dad was a big influence. He was the one that kind of got you started in hockey.
Yeah, definitely. Like it was actually a funny story. It was Christmas. I can't remember which year it was. And we were skating every week on Sunday. There was like you can just go out and skate. And I was with my dad there all the time. And then I was like, yeah, I need skates and I want to have skates. And he was like, if we skate once a week, it makes no sense to buy you skates. And on that Christmas, my grandma actually bought me skates. And then I started to play hockey. Then things came and that's how I started actually. That was a pretty funny story.
So Oma Schlenker, thanks to Oma Schlenker there for getting the kid his first pair of skates. And yeah, like I had a similar childhood too. Like those kind of outdoor rinks there, like growing up in the cold there, like learning to skate. Like those are obviously really, I think, good times for most hockey players out there. So in Canada, when it comes to like minor hockey, we kind of have a similar structure as they do here in Germany, but we have way more teams. Obviously, in Canada, like hockey's like the first sport. In Germany, I would say it's probably the third or the fourth. Obviously, football, soccer, as we say in English, or for Canadians out there, North Americans, would be number one. But um, how was it kind of growing up for you in Schwenningen and playing minor hockey? You obviously have kind of like the beginners one, and then is it similar structure where you have like U7, U9, U11, U13 all the way up?
Yeah, you started the Laufschule, like there, every kid is there, and then it starts with the. I think it's now. It was in the past. It was U6, but now it's U7. Then you have U9, you have U11, U30, 13, U15, U17, U20, and stuff. But for me, it was like we're playing hockey all day. I had a net at home, and every of my friends came to me, and we played hockey on the street. We had also goalie that was with his full gear there, so it was very fun. Even it was raining and we played hockey. Like hockey is what I did all my life. So
Yeah, that's normally I would say most people that get into it, it's kind of they're learning to skate before they can walk, is the Canadian saying there. But no, that's awesome. And obviously, as I mentioned, like in Canada, with for example, if you play U11, there's like three different levels. So there'd be AAA, which would be the highest, AA second highest, single A. But obviously here in
yeah, you have actually the A and the B.
yeah,
I don't know if you have it right now, but in the past we had U13A and U13B. Like
okay.
the good ones were in A and the other was in B.
And that obviously too, like would they play different teams? Like there'd be some cities that would have teams in both divisions, but then like there might be smaller cities that only have one and B at that level or A at
Yeah.
that level. So
Yeah, it's actually like this. And also the B team was filled up with some young guys from the team under the team. So I think a couple teams have an A and a B team. I think Mannheim has it too with MRC and Jung Adler.
Yeah.
So, and it was the same in Schwenning. We had, it means like the name was actually the A team was blue and the B team was white. So it
Okay.
means U13 blue and U13 white.
I mean, yeah, the Schwenningen colors, obviously blue and white, so that makes sense. Yeah, Mannheim also has the Mad Dogs as well, which is also
Yeah, right.
another level of that too. So obviously, as I mentioned, a big city like Mannheim, they have various levels, various organizations. Um, Actually, where I got my start over here, goalie coaching, was for the Mad Dogs. Is when I stopped playing. That was one of the first teams I worked for, so I knew this rink well. Um, one other thing we have in North America, especially like during the summers, I know it might be a little different over here. We have a lot of like hockey camps, especially when you're growing up there. As you said, like in Germany, they have Laufschule, which is the first one, kind of learn to skate, learn to play. But then also in the summers, we have anything from a camp where your parents would drop you off, you know, on in the morning and then pick you up at 5. You're on the ice maybe once or twice a day, some off ice, some games, obviously depending on your age. Like, did you do any camps or anything growing up like that, or was it strictly the German way of, like there's really no ice in the summer, so you had to kind of find other sports to play?
No, actually, it was like we had off ice from Monday to Friday, and my dad was very into it. So we were on camps most of every weekend. Like we drew to most of the times to Switzerland. In the Czech, we also had a couple of camps, and I was with my friends there. So, like I would say, it was not the normal way I like trained or grew up, but I was with my dad all the time in like any camps in Czech or Swiss or something. So it was yeah.
Did you play any other sports like growing up? I would assume you played football at some point, but like, was there any other sports you played to kind of maybe have like, a break there from hockey? Obviously, you don't want to do it 12 months a year. Sometimes it's good to have like a little break and
Yeah, I
kind of.
played tennis for 6 years, and then I had to decide if I want to play hockey or tennis because with the practice and stuff was so much. And then my mom said, "Okay, you have to decide now if you want to play hockey or tennis." And I decided obviously for hockey.
I need to get you to take me out on the courts there. I gotta
I would
learn.
love to.
I gotta learn to get a forehand. I'm a very defensive guy. I'm very frustrating. You can ask Petri. His the game yesterday didn't go too well for him, but
I hear that you're a good tennis player, so maybe we have to meet for a game.
I'm not good. I'm defensively strong. I can get to every ball. I can get it back, but I can't like attack and I can't serve. So I'm like, people just always laugh at me like I don't play tennis the right way. I'm like annoying. I just
Yeah, I
get
know,
the
but
ball back.
like when you have play against a player that just play the balls high in the air and they bounce back, you get it too aggressive maybe, and then you it goes in the out or something. So like I would love to play
Yeah, we're gonna
a
have
tennis
to.
match with you.
That's how I got my points for sure. But maybe you'll bring me back down to reality right now. But another question I had, like, you obviously grew up in Schwenningen, as we mentioned, and then you also, before coming here to Mannheim, I believe you played a couple games in pro in the Oberliga at the young age. You were 17, right, when you first
Yeah,
played in
17
Lindau, I believe.
window.
How was that adjustment for you, being that young and having to, play games in a professional league?
Like it was fun. It was very like weird for me because I was playing all the time juniors, and then I can remember my first pro game in the Oberliga. It was fun, but it was different hockey. Like I had no time to do anything, and I was like, it actually brought me back to reality. Like that's not the same as junior hockey. But we had also a good group of guys there, and the coach trusted me. I played a lot there, so it was fun to me, but it was also very helpful and good experience for me.
No, for sure. Anytime young players like yourself can experience some pro hockey at a young age, as you said, you realize what the next levels are like how quicker the game is, how fast you view decisions, strength, etc. So obviously that was a good experience. What led you to change? So you were obviously playing Knockfolks minor hockey in Schwenningen, and you ended up coming to the Young Adler Association. Like, so how did that go for you?
Like in my head, I want to win something, and obviously Mannheim has probably the best youth program in Germany. So, and the U20 coach Luigi Calce, he talked to me already 2 years ago, but I want to finish my school first, so I didn't come to Mannheim. And then I feel right to come here, and then I came here and played 1 year for the under 20, and we won the championship there. So I think it was a very good year for me. Also, I played a lot, and I learned very, very much there because it was a different style of hockey we played in Mannheim than back in Schwenning.
Hmm. And when you came here, like, were you boarding in the internat or whatever, or did you
I
come
was
here?
in a internat in
Internat,
campus. That was pretty fun. All the guys lived there. Like for the listeners, of the under 20 guys that come from anywhere else. Most of the guys live there, and we have a pool. We can play table tennis, we can play soccer, basketball, everything, and we do every day we're together and doing stuff together. So that was very much fun.
Yeah, it's almost like for like another view of it, it would be kind of like a boarding system where we, there's a certain amount of players that can come every year that live away from home, and they have kind of like a little apartment area where they can all live. They're all together. There's like, food and stuff there, restaurants they can go to where they have discounts at or coupons too. And then, as you said, like you guys are together 24/7. You're doing everything together, whether it's training, whether it's hanging out outside the rink, going to movies, you know, hanging out, whatever. So it's obviously a cool thing that you got to experience and many players do over here, which I think is good. I always think it's smart to live away from home, especially at a young age, because you learn how to kind of be on your own. Like everyone does it. We love being at home. Like our families take great care of us, but sometimes you gotta take the next step and learn how to do things on your own.
I think that's a very good experience, and you have to do it to grow also as a person. Because like when I'm at home, my mom was cooking every day, my grandma was cooking every day, so my laundry was clean every day. And now you come somewhere where you're alone, like you have the boys around, but still you have to do your laundry alone. You have to cook. In internat, we had to cook pause, but it's a whole different life, and you have to do everything alone. But I think as a person, like I grew there a lot, so it helped me a lot also.
How's your cooking skills?
I would say good actually. Like my girlfriend bought me a cooking book,
Mm-hmm.
and you can do it with five things like
Like
how do you say it?
like steps.
Yeah, 5 steps. You
Yeah.
can cook a whole meal, and I'm working on that. And I love to cook actually, but like clean up after, that's not my favorite hobby, I would say.
You like cooking the meals, but someone else can be on. So
In
that's
a perfect word.
that's fair enough. One question I always like to ask too is, growing up, obviously, there's many forms of hockey to play. So obviously over here there's minor hockey, and then it's, the next step would be go play pro, or there's a chance to go overseas to Canada or the United States to play either tier two junior there, NCAA like a scholarship, or major junior, the OHL, WHL, QMJHL. Had that ever crossed your mind at any time to try to go over there? Did you try to do it, or you were just totally okay with making the steps here in Mannheim and then focusing on hopefully getting a pro contract?
Like we talked with my agent about it to go to the CHL, but then it didn't feel right also because it would be the first time back from away from home, and it didn't feel right for me. And I think also as a person I couldn't like do it over there when I'm honest and when I think about it now. So I was focusing on the career in Germany and try to get a contract like anywhere in Germany, and now it worked out in Mannheim.
Yeah, it's obviously it's a big step, especially for someone who, English isn't your first language and having to go over to halfway across the world. And it's different hockey. It's a different atmosphere. You got a 6 hour time change from your family. Like that's a lot to take in as a young kid. So I can definitely understand that. One other thing you've done is you've represented Team Germany multiple times. I believe you played some U16, U17, stuff like that. Like just talk about obviously being able to represent your country and obviously wear the German jersey.
Yeah, I was very proud about it. The first tournament we played was in Füssen. Yeah, it was fun. It was also a different style of hockey because we had like the best guys from Germany there, and it was fun to play with them. I also learned a lot things there, and it was also my first time in the US. We went to Colorado Springs, so that was fun. We had a tournament there, 5 teams, 5 nations, and we've been there for 2 weeks. So that was also my first experience overseas. It was fun, and also I'm very proud of it that I could represent my country. We had also a couple of tournaments in Czech, so I love it, and every time when I can do it, I will do it very proudly.
Proud German. That's, I mean, all the listeners be happy to hear that. I agree. Anytime you can represent your country, obviously, if you're healthy and you get the chance, I mean, I've always said, you might as well, because 20 years from now you'll look back and wish you probably did it a little bit more. So, um,
So it was also I missed the World Juniors because of an injury.
yeah.
Like that was also a big thing for me because I was looking forward to the tournament. And also the coach said that he will take me, but then I injured my knee. So it was also, I was very sad about it. But I think everything has a reason why it happens. So
Yeah, and that's obviously you know, something out of your control. So it wasn't something you could foresee. And yeah, I agree with you. I think you were definitely planned to be a part of that team, and then it happened. But as you said, you know, like thinking positively about it, you know, to be able to know that you were going to be on the team, and then obviously the injury happens, but you know, it's just one year of that, and now you can obviously set some new goals going forward. And one of them, as you mentioned, was to sign a pro contract somewhere. And obviously last season you got your first DL contract here with us in Mannheim. How has the experience been for you so far? You know, just talk about it being a young guy in German hockey. I would say obviously some of the listeners would be curious of, you know, how that is for someone like yourself.
I would say I had the best time of my life the last 1.5 years, I would say. No, like I think it's the biggest organization in probably in Europe. And we have so many good guys, we have so many good veterans, we have so many good young guys here. And it's fun every day when I come in, I'm smiling and I'm happy to be a part of the team. And I'm so proud actually to be a part of the team. And I love everything. So, like how I already said, the team we have is you can learn every day from everybody so much, so many things. So, like, it's the best time I had so far. And hopefully we'll keep going like this.
One thing I've noticed, obviously from the outside, is you know, and I really appreciate older players doing this, is you've kind of formed a nice little bit of a bromance, I would say, with some guys on our team, some of the older guys who, you know, have a lot of experience, whether that's Leon Gavanka or someone like Dan Renouf. Maybe just talk about like kind of, you know, interacting, like talking, you know, learning from those guys daily, seeing how they train, how they go about their daily routines in terms of games, and obviously just, you know, being the young guy in that group with them.
Yeah, it's fun, and I'm so happy that the guys treat me the way how they treat me. Like I was sitting in the locker room next to Reno and like Dan Renouf, and he helps me every day. Not only in hockey, like I can ask him everything I want, and he will also always have an answer for me. But no, after the game, he always comes to me and is like, "Let's watch your video together," and he tell me what I can do better or different, or also what was good. And like I love all the guys, and also Leon. I spent my whole summer with him. I think I don't have to talk about his hockey game. Everybody knows that he's a pretty good hockey player. No, and like you mentioned, I have like good friends here and I found good friends here and it's fun every day to spend time with them. So
Another thing that I think is good for you as a young player is, you know, in the summers here, we're very fortunate to have a lot of pro guys come back from North America who train with us before they head back over. So obviously, you know, Tim Stutzla's here, Moritz Seider, now Arno Tiefensee's here, like guys like that. Like as a young player, like do you just try to kind of watch those guys, you know, on the ice every day, learn from them, try to stay on after with them, and you know, just kind of soak up everything you can for guys like that who obviously are playing, you know, in the NHL or AHL.
100%. Like I talked to Mo a lot. We also went for dinner and we talked about hockey, also how he handled things in hockey, like with his mindset, how he when he has a bad game maybe or something, how he thinks about it, how he can shut his brain down maybe and go to bed. And also about his hockey game, like he helped me with a lot of things, like even if it's a 2-on-1 or knocking the puck down or in the ozone, I can learn so much things from them, and I could spend like 24 hours with them, and I would have questions all day long because, like, for me, it helps a lot to watch hockey and also talk about hockey, especially maybe from the best defenseman in the whole league in the NHL. So no, they help me also a lot. Also Timmy, like we don't have to talk about his hockey game, so everybody knows him. It's so much fun, and also they can help me so with so many things in hockey, but also off the ice, how they treat something. So I love it.
Yeah, and obviously, as I said, for a young guy like you and for the listeners out there, like we're very fortunate to have those guys come back here and obviously be so generous with their hockey knowledge, their time, and also trusting us, I would say, in their summers to come skate with us and get ready for their pro seasons. Obviously, they're at a different level, but
I think that also shows what kind of familiar like relationship everybody has in Mannheim. That the guys from overseas come back, train here, have also good friends here. trust our coaches, trust our strength and conditioning coaches, trust Gotchi and whoever is on the ice. So I think that's also a good sign for the whole organization that those guys come back every year.
No, you're definitely right. It's, from our owner Danny Hop all the way down to Dallas, Kurt Gotch, obviously Petri, our goalie coach. Yuri Zipser was a longtime goalie in the league and is in the office now in management and everything. Like we just, you know, strength team, everyone, like we've just kind of built that family atmosphere here so that everyone's welcome and we want to help everyone reach their goals, even if they're, you know, officially a part of this team or not. So like those guys, so it's been very good. Even for me, it's been nice talking to those guys. They're very approachable every morning, saying hello, how are you? If you have a question, if you need anything, they're the first guys to offer a hand. So, that's just a testament to those guys there. Switching gears a little here, we gotta have a little joke in here. So the listeners wouldn't know this. I've gotten to know it over the past year, and the first time I heard it, I thought it was something not real. Um, you have a very historic laugh, and for the listeners, like when you hear this, you think it's like a joke being played. You think there's no way that this could be this guy's real laugh, and boy, are you wrong. That's his real laugh. So I just have to say it's very funny. Obviously, hey, be yourself and don't change, but it is very funny when we're just like being on the bus or I'll be around the corner in the dressing room and I just hear this loud bitch.
You want me to do it one
No,
time?
no, no. We don't have to do that. We don't want to fake it. But yeah, it's that's been with you your whole life. That's just kind
No,
of a
actually not. It was, I think the guys asked me that almost every day. It was 6 years ago. I hear the guy that laughed like this, and I had a normal laugh. So I started to do it because I thought it was funny, and it wasn't my idea to like influence this laugh that I do it every time. But I don't know, it was so in my head, and I know I can't laugh other way. So now, like it's funny, and the guys love it. So I think it's okay.
Yeah, the boys definitely love it. So yeah, there's definitely no negatives to it. It's just really if it really catches you off guard if you haven't heard it the first time. But hey, that's what makes you a great person and that's all part of you. So um couple other questions for you here. As a hockey player or even as a human being, like what do you think your greatest strengths are?
I would say I'm a very familiar person.
Yep.
I love my family. I love to spend time with my family, with my girlfriend, with everybody. I would say I'm a very open person, like extroverted. I like to talk to new people. I like to meet. I don't like to be alone. I always need somebody around me. Like I would say that's two of my strongest strengths I have.
And what do you think in terms of your hockey game right now? Obviously, still a young guy, still lots to develop and continue to improve, which everyone has, doesn't matter how old you are. But what are some things that maybe you're really proud of and that you feel are strengths in your game?
Like I would say my mindset and also like I can adjust things very good. Like if somebody has something for me, what I can do different, or I'm very good at adjusting things and I love to learn from other guys. No, and I would say like a bit maybe my vision of hockey. Like I love to watch the game, so I maybe see also plays and stuff that would be my biggest strength, I would say.
A lot of people would say that in English would say you're very coachable.
Yeah,
You're
probably that was the right word.
no, it doesn't. Hey, listen, it's all good, but yeah, that's like being coachable and approachable are very good qualities to have. Not to put you on the spot, but is there anything that you feel in your hockey game that you want to improve over the next couple of years? Things that you feel like, hey, I really want to work on this and try to get better.
Like I would say almost everything. I like to improve my shot more. I like to improve my skating on the blue line, also in the D zone, like turning, also when there's a regroup, like turning my feet up the ice and play the first pass hard on the tape. That are all things I want to work on and want to improve.
No, those are definitely good ones. Skating is obviously always important. As I mentioned, you're still a young guy and you got lots of time to put in that work, whether it's on the ice or in the gym. But it's good to also have that honesty, I would say, and just kind of true evaluation of yourself, which I obviously respect for you. Um, how do you spend your summers? Like, what do you do now? Obviously, you have to be here for training and stuff. You might go home sometimes, but like, what are maybe some activities or hobbies you like to do in the off season to kind of have a break from hockey after a long season?
I was on vacation with a couple boys here and also with my girlfriend, with my family. And then I like how I said before, I like to play tennis, I like to play golf, I like to play paddle tennis. I spend a lot of time, like I mentioned before, with Leon. We watched the World Championship, the soccer, the World Cup together. We barbecued at in the evening, so like pretty normal things. I like to spend time with other people, so that's what I did all summer.
And enjoy the stupidly hot weather here
Oh man, that
around
was
here.
crazy. I think it was the hottest summer I ever had.
For those listening, air conditioning is not very common over here in Europe, especially in a lot of the homes and stuff. So when it was getting 40 plus here and I was at home in Canada, like I was like, this is insane. I don't know how you guys do it, but I mean that's
Yeah, also we spent a lot of time at the sea because it was so hot and
yeah,
you can't just be at home because it was so hot there.
yeah,
Yeah,
crazy weather here sometimes. But
especially this year, I think. The
yeah,
last years it
this year
wasn't.
was nuts. Even in Canada, it was nuts because like we were having like 38, 40 some days, which is crazy. But obviously, as I mentioned, if you go into any store or most apartments, houses, they have air conditioning. So it's like you have two extremes, like the hot outside, and then you came inside, it's
Yeah.
like an ice box. So
Yeah, I would say if it's hot over the day, it's fine because you can just jump in a pool or anywhere. I don't know, but at night, if it's so hot, you can't sleep.
you can't
Like I
sleep.
can't sleep. It was horrible this year, but yeah.
A little toasty in here too, I might say.
Yeah, I'm sweating already.
Me too. But don't worry, we're almost done here. I appreciate you taking some time here. Three more questions for you. So the first one is, what is your ultimate goal? I would say. So when you look back on your career, like what's the biggest thing you hope to achieve?
I want to win a championship, especially in the DL, because I was watching DL my whole life. That was the league I was watching all the time. I probably know every guy from there, like not personally, but just from watching them. I would say that's my biggest goal. And also, what's my biggest goal is to improve every day and get a better human, be a better hockey player. But no, when I say something about hockey, I would say win a championship in a, or many championships in the DL.
We'll start with one. Hopefully that
Be awesome.
you guys start with one and then you can count after that. But also kind of going back to kind of where you see yourself, like where do you maybe see yourself in 5 years? Obviously, right now you're 20 years old, still a young buck. So when you're 25, like where do you hope to be?
Like in a perfect word, maybe I'm here as a, how you say, as a main defenseman.
Yeah, like a top six defenseman,
Yeah,
regular defenseman.
play maybe for Mannheim. And that's where I see me in 5 years. And I hope that works out.
No, that's a good goal to have. As I said, you're still very young. Um, Last question for you. I always end on this one. For you, I'll adjust it because obviously you're still young. But what is one piece of advice, or if you have more than one, multiple piece of advice, you might give the young players out there? So if you're speaking to maybe young hockey players, whether it's in North America, Germany, like someone like yourself that's come up through the minor hockey systems, won a championship in U20 Mannheim, and now is playing in the DL, like what is one or multiple piece of advice you might give them?
Like maybe I have two. You're never so bad as you think you are, and you're never so good as you think you are. That's probably one advice I learned. And another advice I learned, it was actually last year. It's like win every day. That's probably like, that's a motto or something. I don't know. And I heard it from Dallas the first time, and it's actually true. And I thought about it. Like if you can go and look in the mirror in the evening and you can say, I won the day and I did my best to get better. I think you achieved everything, or you can achieve everything what you want.
For someone whose second language is English, I would say this interview went really well. You seemed very calm. You told me before you were nervous. I thought I might have to throw some German out here to ask proper questions, but you handled it perfectly. And those two pieces of advice you gave were great. Obviously, never get the another way to say it would be like never get too high, never get too low. Like always kind of stay neutral to what you are. And then as you said, like Dallas says, win the day is a very good motto to have. If you feel that every day you've won and did everything you could to be a better hockey player, a better person, a better boyfriend, whatever it might be, then it's
Especially,
probably
I think if you hear it the first time, you think like, I don't know if you can do something with it, but when you think about it and like really think about it, it can help a lot of people there, because if you win every day and you know you're maybe 1% better than yesterday, and you do that 100 times, you're 100% better than the day before. So I would say you have to think about it to maybe realize it, what this thing means. I don't know.
No, and yeah, exactly. And everyone has to figure out what winning to them would look like and how they do it. It's not the same for everybody, but overall, in general, it is a very good model to live by. And obviously, the guy who said it is a pretty smart guy. Very long career in playing and coaching, so he must have been doing something right. But Colin, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day here. I'm sorry that I interrupted your spa time. I'll let you get back to it. This guy walked in a bathrobe from the spa.
I thought
I
we don't want to talk about it.
and said, absolutely not. Go put an Adler shirt on. So that I'm happy you got the retire. There's the laugh. We got the laugh to come out. But hey, man, really appreciate you doing this. Happy to have you, in this organization, and definitely, excited to see where your career takes you. So thanks again, bud.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And for those listening, until next week, choose and chat.